Welcome, everyone. My name is Sharon McClellan, and I'm a family nurse practitioner by background. I have had the joy and privilege of helping people with their health and nutrition for over 40 years. Yes, I'm old. So, Karen and Emily and I are all partners with the Juice Plus Company, whose mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. And we absolutely love the mission that we're on together. We share a food first approach and the impact of whole food nutrition to prevent, heal, and protect our bodies and to help us all move toward our best health. And so I am going to read Emily and Karen's bios just because it's easier for me to do that. I may cry if I try to not do that because they're two very dear friends and we share a passion for this mission. And it is our deep prayer and desire that everyone who's on this line will leave here so personally encouraged and lifted up, and that you'll take away at least one thing that is going to help you on your health journey to make it more vibrant for you. So, Karen is a dedicated nurse of 39 years. She's a proud mom of three and Nana to three healthy Juice Plus grandbabies, and they are adorable. Emily is a former professional dancer and fitness instructor, and she is now a busy working mom of three. Together, they bring a message of hope, guiding others towards simple solutions that can transform their health, build longevity, and create lasting financial freedom. So, they will be sharing their very heartfelt and powerful stories with you tonight of how the Juice Plus product and the Juice Plus mission and company has changed their lives. After they share their stories of hope, then I will share the science behind Juice Plus, which is my favorite part and what truly sets Juice Plus apart from everything else on the market as the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world, with 48 published studies and more to come. And the very exciting new study that's being worked on is one that the NIH actually is funding. It's a $10 million study, and they are using Juice Plus and studying its impact on healthy aging and on dementia prevention and more. So, with that, I'm going to ask my dear friend Karen to take us away.
Thanks, Sharon. Well, my story begins 14 years ago. I still remember the day my daughter Catherine came home from school and I heard, "Mom, you're either on the couch or you're sleeping when I get home." And let me tell you, bad mom guilt set in. At that time, I was suffering with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, migraines, horrible seasonal allergies, and I was depressed as my norm was simply trying to get through my days, feeling utterly exhausted while dealing with flu-like aches and pains. I knew I needed some help, and I was desperate to try anything, so I reached out to my friend Mara to learn more about plant powders. The very next day, she took me to her friend's home, and I was amazed by all the health transformation stories I heard, the healthy-looking people in the room, not to mention the science-based research resonated with me as a nurse. And immediately I said, I want to get started now. And I began getting the 30 nutrients from 30 plants every day. Changes were very slow at the beginning for me. In fact, I remember telling a friend, I don't think these capsules work. But thankfully, Mara continued to educate me on all the changes that were truly happening at the cellular level, but that I couldn't necessarily feel. And I never gave up. And at the 5-month point, I had a dental cleaning while on aspirin, and my gums did not bleed. And this was a first for me. Prior to that, my gums bled profusely with cleanings. It was at that point I realized these capsules were making me healthier, and I couldn't wait to call Mara when I got home and share my news. By the year point, I went from having little to no energy to actually having stamina for the first time in my life. Wow. I never knew what that felt like. I actually remember seeing my cardiologist that spring for my routine checkup, and I was born with a congenital heart defect, and I saw him yearly, and I was very used to the same questions every year. How's your energy level? And when I told him I never had this much energy in my life, trust me, I got his attention. I shared the plant powders with him as this was the only change I had made at that point. And of course, I just had to share my favorite heart study published in the Journal of American College of Cardiology. And then his eyes really lit up. I also began sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed. You see, I used to go to bed tired and wake up just as tired. My migraines disappeared and I could function in the spring. Between fibromyalgia flaring with the change of seasons and severe spring allergies, I truly dreaded the spring season. But I dropped 4 meds for allergies and asthma at the year point and only needed a children's dosage of antihistamine for the high pollen weeks. So each year my allergies have improved. They continue to improve. They aren't completely gone, but I am now able to exercise outside in the spring and actually enjoy the season. I never miss a day of my plant powders, and I'm grateful for my new norm. It's really sad how we get used to our norm and really have no idea how much better we can feel until it happens. Currently, I am fortunate to have the energy to enjoy and keep up with my 3 precious grandchildren, and they keep me on my toes, and to watch them grow up healthy with this nutritional foundation. They were blessed to have Juice Plus in the womb. So after sending Mara countless referrals, I joined the mission and partnered with the most servant-hearted people in this world. I can't put words to how rewarding it is to get thank yous and hear about all the improvements in health. I went into nursing to help people, and this mission has given me the same opportunity to educate and serve others. Some of my fondest memories are my family reunions, also known as conferences, with my extended Juice Plus family. Why am I so passionate about sharing ways we can protect our bodies and prevent disease by flooding ourselves with pure micronutrients daily? Well, sometimes cancer, heart disease, and other serious illnesses don't discriminate. So I also share to be prepared for when life hits hard, so people are ready to fight, to heal, and to overcome. Just 3 months ago, I underwent open heart surgery number 3. This was not in the plan, as I had just had an echo showing my valve of 15 years was holding up great. Of note, my first valve needed replaced at 13 years, and I was not taking Juice Plus then. But an incidental finding on a routine CT calcium score showed that I had developed a rare complication from my first surgery 28 years ago. And I will never forget reading that report, and all of a sudden, life hit hard, and nothing else was of importance. I was all consumed with an aneurysm that could rupture at any point. Talk about being prepared. I tell you, I was so full of Juice Plus, getting my body as healthy as possible for that surgery. My docs were amazed and grateful for how healthy I was. Surgery went well, and I bolted out of the hospital in 5 days. The nursing staff was sad to see me discharged, as I had a generous supply of superfoods in my room to energize them through their long 12-hour shifts. But on post-op day 14, the unexpected happened again due to a severe allergic reaction. And I was readmitted to the hospital for 8 days and treated with high-dose corticosteroids. The source literally could have been anything related to surgery. And my hospitalist told me I endured the most severe form of both mental and physical pain there is, as my skin was literally on fire and I had severe, relentless itching. But I'm here to talk about it, and I survived. My body was strong enough to handle this severe reaction. I was able to fight, to heal, and to overcome. I did my part. I was prepared. I was also blessed with countless prayer warriors who never stopped praying around the clock, and many of them are on this call, and I sincerely thank you. So today, I have one full, grateful heart, And when you hear the saying, if you don't have your health, nothing else seems to matter, it's true. I will continue to share my story of hope, educate on nutrition and simple health solutions, and simply pay the gift forward that I was blessed with. So now I am really excited for you to hear from my sweet daughter-in-law, Emily, as being on Juice Plus is a non-negotiable as a Karasinski.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing all that, Karen. It's kind of hard to just switch gears and talk about my story because what happened to you is still just really fresh. And I appreciate that you can open up about it and share with so many other people so quickly. And I think a lot of that has to do with how this community came behind you these past 6 months, honestly, and behind our whole family. I mean, the texts that I got from our team and the meal train, and I mean, I witnessed the full power of community firsthand through what we all went through. So anyway, a little off book there, but just grateful. And also hearing your story this week as we're practicing, it just took me back to that moment. And I can't believe it was 10 years ago, but 10 years ago, and I was sitting at your kitchen table begging you to make me another one of your really famous smoothies. I had no idea what they were. Sorry, I'm gonna let somebody in. And John and I were only dating, and you were just so honest with me about what you went through with fibromyalgia and your commitment to showing up for your family. And it really brought me out of my post grad thinking I knew everything, thinking I was perfectly healthy and had nothing to worry about. And it made me think about people I love and what they might be quietly carrying, what they're praying for, what kind of life they hope is still possible. And also made me reflect on my own health and realize that there's actually gaps I need to fill if I want to live the future that I hope for. So at the time, I was a dancer in a small community in Atlanta and a fitness instructor, and I looked healthy. But on the inside, I really did worry about my micronutrition. I didn't know that's what it was called, but something was off. I wasn't building muscle like everybody else. My carb heavy meals left me still feeling hungry. And my immune system was very easily worn down by the many classes I taught little kids. I picked up everything from them. Um, Sorry, I lost my place. But then when I first heard about encapsulated produce, and I thought that was the craziest thing I'd ever heard, I realized it was just real food. And that was something I needed more of. I did not get the variety that we call for. I did not get the 9 to 13 servings a day, 15 to 18 for really active people. No, not even close, maybe 4 or 5. Um, and so I realized, oh, this is just something simple and proactive that I can do every day, not just for my current health, but for the future I was building. Because it wasn't just about my little dancer life. I knew that, well, I hoped that I would someday become a mom. And I learned that what I do before pregnancy mattered just as much as what I did during and after. So by the time I got pregnant with my first baby in 2019, I had already been flooding my body with plant-based nutrition for nearly 4 years. And I just don't take that for granted. It was all because Karen had the courage to bring it up to literally her son's girlfriend. So that just gave me so much peace of mind in a time that was really scary. I was very scared about being pregnant. But I'm like, okay, real food backed by research and trusted certifications that Sharon's going to get into soon. So I knew I could feel confident in the foundation I was giving my growing baby. And then I had a second pregnancy and something funny looked, the ultrasound looked kind of funny and it turned out it was twins. And that's just a whole different ride. But pregnancy is a journey, whether it's your first or your fifth, 1 or 2 babies. And it's because there's so much we can't control. So what's nice about Juice Plus is, we can control how we nourish ourselves through our pregnancy. So anyway, it helped me carry my 2 baby boys to 37 weeks. We were blessed with no NICU time. I recovered well, and I was able to breastfeed all of my babies for a year. But now my daughter's 5 and my twins are almost 3. And this nutrition is still something that I lean on daily and rely on. My kids rarely have needed antibiotics. When they do get sick, it's typically shorter and milder than what I see their friends going through. They get over 50 plants a day and they think it's a treat. It's very awesome. And I don't lie to them about what it is. It is a treat. Wellness is a treat. But this is about a lot more than just avoiding colds. It's helped people in my family manage autoimmune symptoms. It's given them thyroid support and not need medication for a thyroid issue, reducing asthma and allergy flare-ups for many people. And it's helped us be proactive about a family history of colon cancer. Because the more I learn, the more I realize that we can actually change um, our we can't change the history, but we can change whether or not those genes express themselves fully in chronic illness in our lives. So this is about changing the course of our family's health story. And the same can be true for you. So all moms know that motherhood changes the way we view our work. And I had this secret hope that I could be present to my children, live life on my terms, and still do meaningful work in the world. But I really didn't believe it was possible. It actually is, thanks to the Juice Plus company. And you might be thinking that you've heard of these types of things before. Maybe you've even dipped a toe into network marketing with a different company, but this one wins in every category. I mean, it's stable. The Juice Plus company has been around for 50 years, and the flagship product we keep referring to, the plant powders in a capsule, those have been around for 30 years and researched the whole time. So if some pop-up comes along tomorrow, they can't compete with our research and the industry standards that we uphold for whole food supplementation. So I promised I wouldn't choose to partner with a company year after year for 10 years through so many different crazy seasons of my life if it wasn't working well for us. So, whether you're a parent or not, working full time or just exploring what's next, this platform can meet you where you are. And it offers something we're all craving in some form: purpose, flexibility, community, as evidenced by what we've just experienced, and personal growth if you're up for it. So if you're listening, I want you to hear one thing. You deserve to feel your best. You deserve to dream bigger, and you have options that can support the life that you want to build. So now I'll pass it over to the woman who first opened that door to me, Sharon McClellan. She's a nurse practitioner with decades of experience, a heart of gold, and a gift for helping people step into their next chapter with confidence. She'll walk you through what this is all about, and you'll see why so many of us are so grateful we said yes.
Oh, thank you so much, both of you, for your generous spirits and sharing with such transparency and so much heart. I just am so grateful for you both. And so, um, we'll move on from there and talk about what really sets Juice Plus apart. What makes it different? So, the most important thing, and you've already heard this several times, but truly the most important thing to remember and to take away is this is not a vitamin. This is whole food nutrition. It's actually the nutritional essence of 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries in either a capsule that you can swallow, yummy chewables that you can chew up and enjoy as a treat. And now, over the last several years, we have a new product, but it's a new old product because it's the same well-researched plant powders in a stick form, a powder that you can open up, pour into a drink, pour into water, most of us use, and shake it up, add ice, and it's delicious. And it's the way that you can get your rainbow of nutrients to bridge the gap. And that's what this is all about. When I first learned about Juice Plus, I learned about it from our ophthalmologist, and he was a friend from church, somebody I trusted. And he basically said, there's two reasons this is different. And we had a family history of macular degeneration. So if you're familiar with that at all, you're supposed to eat lots and lots of green leafy vegetables. And so he was sharing this with that in mind in particular, but for our health in general. And I'm so grateful. And he said, first of all, it's food, fruit, vegetables, and berries packaged to go in a capsule or tubable and now a drink form. And secondly, there's science behind it. And I, as a nurse practitioner, was very intrigued and interested to look into that science. And so I read back then, 8 published studies, and I truly had the conviction after what I learned that not only did my family desperately need this, we were not getting the variety, the consistency, the quality, the quantity of plants that we needed every single day. Um, but I knew a lot of other moms who were struggling like I was and who had picky eaters and all the things. And so I could not wait to share this with all the people I cared about so they could make an informed decision. So that's what you may be here for tonight is to learn a little bit so you can make an informed decision for your family. And when you look at this picture, I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. It really says it all. That beautiful rainbow. And what I came to realize pretty quickly is our family ate apples, oranges, and bananas, and then we ate broccoli, carrots, some celery occasionally, but we ate the same things. Like we had a food rut going. We didn't get this variety, and many days didn't get any of this. And had back that in that day, 24 years ago, kale was the little thing you saw on the decoration of the salad bar. You didn't eat it, And so, anyway, so much nutritional goodness. And then our Juice Plus plant-based omegas. I love their plants. We went straight to the algae to get the omega-3, skip the fish, which oftentimes has contaminants in it. And the other thing that's really important is it's a broad spectrum omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And each one of those omegas does something unique and special in the body. And so I just love being able to share the powerful food that we're talking about tonight. As I mentioned, the superfood has become a new favorite for many people of all ages and stages. My daughters love it. A lot of young people are always opening up their electrolytes or whatever they are opening up and putting it into water. And this is one of those things that younger people really enjoy. My little 15-month-old, she would see me mixing up my superfood when I was up there helping to take care of them when they had a new baby. And she literally, she doesn't talk, but it was like, and she would come over and it was like, where's mine? And so, of course, I shared and we enjoyed it together. But it is the same plant powders with the same fabulous research that we're going to talk about in a minute. So Juice Plus is unique, and I think I've talked about its food, its plants. There's a nutrition label, not a supplement label. And that is very unique about what we have to offer. And what I love about it is that we have farmers all over the world, actually, but many and most in the United States. And we go to farmers that are in the best region for that particular fruit, vegetable, berry, and we have relationships with those farmers. We know their farming practices. And the cool thing is that this is completely vine ripened, and that's important because the nutritional density is greatest when it's at peak ripeness. Much of what we purchase in the store is picked green, and then so it's not fully nutrient dense, and then it's transported, and the moment it comes off the vine, it begins to lose nutrition. And so if it's transported several weeks across country, then by the time you buy it in the grocery store, it's just not the quality nutrition that we're trying to feed our families with. And so it's a challenge. It's a challenge because the soils are depleted, and the amount of spinach that you have to eat today versus 50 years ago to get the same nutrition is pretty unbelievable. So those are all really important variables. Secondly, it's NSF certified. And I would say that the supplement industry is very poorly regulated. So third-party certification is critical for any type of supplement that you're using. And Juice Plus does very thorough testing at every stage of the process of moving it from the fruit, putting it into the slurry, and then the drying happens and then it's encapsulated. There's testing that happens each step of the way to assure that it's the highest of quality and that there's no contaminants. But I love that we have a third party that is stamped on every Juice Plus item that says it's NSF certified. It's certified to say that what's on the label is in the product, and there's nothing in the product that's not on the label. And you don't know that for sure if your supplement is not third-party tested. So that's just a little tip to give you to be careful. And there's no harmful ingredients, and there's no herbicides, pesticides, or banned substances. It's honestly better than organic, the cleanest produce that we put into our bodies every single day. And thirdly, it's the most researched nutritional product in the world, as I mentioned, over 48 published studies. And so I'm going to talk just briefly, give you a high-level overview here quickly. If you want to do a deep dive like I did, we can make that available for you. Just get with a person who invited you. You can actually click on the links and read all the studies to your heart's content. The most important thing that they studied first, and there's over 20 published studies on the bioavailability. And what that means is when you take it, does it get into your bloodstream? And what we know when you take Juice Plus is it gets absorbed, and the important nutrients like vitamin C, E, beta carotene go up in your bloodstream when you take it. And that's when all the amazing, great things begin to happen for your health. Nutrition is slow, gradual change. And so, unlike a prescription, you take it and you expect to feel differently, a moment later, exaggeration, but you get the picture. With nutrition, it is slow, gradual change. And so you just want to be aware of that. It's what we do over time that matters. If you go to the gym one day and give yourself a really strong workout, you'll be sore and tired. It's the repeated action, and same is true with nutrition. So once it gets into your body, it has an amazing impact on the immune system. And Emily mentioned exactly what happens, and what the studies show is when people are taking Juice Plus, they get sick less often. When they do, it's shorter and milder. So it strengthens your immune system. And it also balances the immune system. So people that have autoimmune disease get better. And that happened for our family too. We had allergies and asthma as well, and came off medications for both of those. And I will say here, Juice Plus makes it very clear we do not make any claims to cure any diseases. But what we do know is that good nutrition makes a difference. Let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And when you put good food into your body and all the dense nutrition that is in Juice Plus, good things happen for your health that is proven by science. We know that it reduces inflammation, it reduces oxidative stress. So everybody's heard the inflammation word. We all know that's not a good thing. You want to reduce your systemic inflammation. And what we know is if you can reduce your inflammation and your oxidative stress, you have reduced your risk for all chronic degenerative diseases, because those are the two things at the root of every chronic degenerative disease we have. And so that is really good news. The next one that I'm super excited about personally, both of my parents experienced some cognitive decline in their late 80s. And so I really want to do everything I can to protect my brain health. And brain disease, dementia is on the rise, rapidly on the rise, and occurring in younger and younger people. And what we know when you take Juice Plus, they studied the impact on cognitive health, and they actually measured a number of different executive functioning measures, and all of them improved with Juice Plus. So we know it does improve our brain health. It protects our brains, and it improves our cognitive function. That makes me very happy. And so we also know that Juice Plus has had a skin study, and people often tell people that they have that healthy glow. Beauty truly is from the inside out. Mimi's best friend from high school is a dermatologist, and she shares Juice Plus. And what I love in the study, it showed that when you take Juice Plus, it improves microcirculation to the skin by 39%. That means you're getting more oxygen to your skin, more nutrients through the blood that's being circulated to your skin more effectively. You have better skin density and hydration and fewer fine lines and wrinkles. And so I don't know about y'all, but sign me up for that. So it is truly, beauty is from the inside out. And it has much more to do with what you put in your body than what you put on top of your skin. Dental health is impacted. Karen mentioned that. My dentist actually recommends Juice Plus. It shows improvement in periodontal health. Cardiovascular health, there's multiple studies that cardiovascular disease is still the number one killer, with brain disease rising quickly to try to crowd it out of that first spot. But Juice Plus impacts a number of markers of the cardiovascular system, our blood pressure, cholesterol levels, LDL cholesterol, oxidized LDL cholesterol. And so it helps our cardiovascular system function in a healthy way. It also does reduce exercise-induced oxidative stress. And I'll just mention here that for athletes, fuel is very important for performance, but also for protection of their health. And we have an agreement that is with the Juice Plus, what's with the, I'm blanking on our we had there is a United States Performance Center. Sorry about the brain hiccup. United States Performance Center in Charlotte is giving Juice Plus fruit, vegetable, berries, and omegas to all of the athletes that they train, who are Olympic trained athletes. And so we love, for moms of athletic kids, anyone who is an athlete, to know about Juice Plus. It also supports gut health. We know that happy gut gives us a happy life and happy health. And to have a healthy microbiome is critical for our immune health and also for our brain function. Our 80% of our serotonin is made in the gut, so that's super important. Um, we also see with our omegas that it increases the omega index to the optimal range. And that is super important, y'all. A low omega index puts you at 30% greater risk for all-cause mortality. And so you want your omega index and your omega intake to be healthy. And most of us aren't eating salmon 3 and 4 times a week. So with that, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things, which is the Healthy Starts program. Our company has a huge heart for families and for children, and we have been giving away free Juice Plus to children for over 25 years. I know kids age 4 to 25 eat free. They get free fruit and vegetables, capsules or gummies when an adult places a Juice Plus order. The child gets it free. And what I love about it is it's really about what we do in our home. And so everybody's working toward being in our best health. And I can say for my family, all my kids were in the Healthy Starts program. We were a young family with a 15, 13, and 7-year-old when we got started. And it made a tremendous impact on the health of my kids. Really, everything you see here with these statistics happened in our home, and I'm very, very grateful that that legacy of health continued into the next generation. I have 8 beautiful grandchildren, and all of my adult kids, their spouses, all take Juice Plus. All of the kiddos take Juice Plus, from the 1-month-old who gets it in his breast milk, um, all the way up to the 91-year-old dad that I have. And so I'm very thankful for what we have seen happen, the reduction in illness and the reduction of prescriptions and all the statistics you see. So it's just a great thing. One of my favorite things is the fact that Juice Plus is affordable. The price point is so good for what you get. For under $3, you get the fruits, vegetables, and berries. And for under $4, you get the fruits, vegetables, berries, and omegas. And if you've been to the grocery store recently and you've even bought 2 pieces of organic fruit, it's more than $3 to get 2 pieces of fruit. And so I love that they've made it affordable. And my husband said, so we're not adding it to the budget. Where are we putting it in the budget? It went into the grocery budget, and because it's food, and we looked at what we could eliminate that was not building our health. And so we just like to think of Juice Plus as a gift. We share it as a gift of hope based on science. And we're just so thankful that y'all came and that you learned what you did. And we're excited for you to get back with the person who invited you. And I do want to tell you that if anybody who is here wants to do what I did when I got started, I learned this and I wanted to get all the products for our whole family. And so we started all the capsules, the chewables, the shakes, which we didn't go into in great detail, but we have a plant-based shake that is delicious, nutritious, and well priced. We've also got a wonderful plant productivity drink called Luminate that's kind of a new kid on the block. But ask the person who invited you more about those 2 things. But I wanted all the products for my family. And I basically just said, how can I get my whole family started as affordably as possible? And my friend said, you may want to do what I did and sign up as a partner. And that way you can get the best price for you and your family. So if you're somebody that wants to dip your toe in with one order for yourself, then that's not the route to go. But if you're somebody that has a vision for helping your whole family get started on all these products, then we invite you to hang around with us for a few minutes after we sign off and stop the recording, and we'll share very quickly how simple it is to partner with us. And I will say that, you can do whatever you want to. You can get the best price for your family, or you can begin to share it with your friends, and you can make a tremendous impact on the lives of people you care about. And you can also supplement your own income in the process of that. And so you can do something so good, and you can get paid for sharing and caring for people, which is a huge gift and a passion that we all share together. And so with that, we'll turn off the recording and we'll give people a moment to hop off. Thank you for giving us your valuable time tonight. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless y'all.